Taking a little time for us this morning is former Shreveport Mayor Ollie Tyler. Miss Ollie, welcome back to Kiel. How you been? How you doing this morning?
I'm doing great, Robert. How are you?
A pleasure talking to you, ma'am. Okay, let me start here. To justify his request for $40,000 in city money
for his transition
to fund his transition team, City Council meeting not too long ago, Mayor Adrian Perkins said that you had spent $60,000
city money
in your for your transition team. Is that true?
That is untrue. In fact, I want you to verify what I'm saying. If you will call my two co-chairs from my transition team, Attorney Tom Arsenault, Attorney Reggie Abrams, they can verify what I'm telling you. We spent $0 of city money to do my little transition team. And we met several times. We did ideas about, what I needed to check when going into the office because I had no plan going in. And, we met several times.
How much was spent of private money? What was the total price tag?
There was no private money spent. We only drank coffee we met at, different offices.
So
from the transition team.
So no real cost.
So where do you
cost
where
at
do you
all.
think Mayor Perkins came up with the $60,000 number and why?
I have no idea. I was told that he looked to see what was spent on my strategic plan of action that I did with my staff, because I did hire a consultant months later after I finished meeting with my transition team. I did hire a consultant to do facilitation with my department heads to ensure that we had the right goals for every department, and to make sure that they were measurable with metrics, and to make sure that we had activities that aligned with the goals and the metrics. So maybe that's what he's talking about.
Was that about $60,000?
I don't know. I'm going to check the numbers, and the reason reason I'm saying that is because a lot of information put out there has been so inaccurately done until I'm bothered by it. And now I'm a private citizen. I don't want my name, slandered and people putting misinformation out there. We spent $0 on transition with my transition team. I would like for you all to call these folks.
I will. You also say you take issue with some of the information put out there with regard to campaign contributions. Can you clear that up?
Let me tell you, Channel 3, Jerry May reported that there seemed to have been, I think the title was something like Pay to Play at City Hall. Mm-hmm. And I think it originated when Mayor Perkins may have gotten a contribution from one of the companies, and it was too much, and, there was an ethics violation. And, probably he didn't know. I don't know, because that could happen. But then he went into who made contributions to candidates and how many contracts they got. Okay,
mm-hmm.
And I never looked at anything when in terms of contributions when contracts was awarded to companies. He gave, and I decided to go back and check because it bothered me that he put me in the mix.
He did.
He put me in the mix. Belt Construction, and I want you to check this also. Belt Construction was one that got a lot of work, and because the law, afforded them that opportunity.
It's a Texarkana company.
Yes, and let me tell you, Belt Construction gave me $0 in contribution in my campaign in 2014.
The owner of the company too, not in his name?
There was nothing given to me from Belt Construction. Okay. I had my treasurer to go back and check it. I don't know about the man. He said Belt Construction. Okay. And so I decided. I said, I don't do stuff like that. I mean, that's just not what I do. I follow the law. Whoever applied for and whoever bidded on contracts, if they had the lowest bid. And I don't even get into the process for contracts. I just want, I need the public to know that I've always done things honestly.
I'm going to say something here too, because I was on that A&E committee, had a few meetings. Never once did the mayor
No.
ask me or
No.
encourage me to pick a certain contractor?
No, ma'am. I
Miss
never
Ollie,
did
did
that with you all. I never did that with any staff member, and you can talk to any staff member. I don't do that kind of thing.
Did you ever think less than 6 months after you left office that anything like this would happen, that these kind of stories would ever come up, or you'd be kind of be getting dragged back into everything again? Did that, in your wildest dreams, did you ever think that?
No, I didn't. I take people for what they are. I just thought that, even a reporter would do his homework and report all of the facts. Belt Construction gave me $0 in 2014. And I need to call Mr. Avalone because I was on his show last night and I didn't have all those facts, but something told me, and I guess it was probably God told me, you need to check those facts, because I never looked at who got contracts until the contracts got to my desk for me to sign. I never tried to influence the A&E committee. I never tried to influence anybody because I don't look at who give me contributions. I made it clear from day one, don't give me a contribution if you expect me to do something illegal, unethical, or immoral.
Did you actually have those conversations with some contractors?
Not with contractors, just with people who met with me. And, like when you do fundraisers,
sure,
and people come to your fundraisers, I had that conversation. Mm-hmm. I'd always say, I don't do favoritism when it comes to running the business and serving people.
Are you worried this mayor does?
I don't know, Aaron, and I don't want to be judgmental. I'm not going to do to this mayor what I think has been done to me, okay? I would never put somebody out there without having the facts, and I would never say anything. But if you ask me something and I know it for a fact, I will tell you. I don't know what he's doing. All I can tell you is I know what I didn't do. I never looked at giving contracts to people who made contributions to me because I let the process work. And when if Belt Construction got lots of money from contractors because they got it legally and they did the bidding, they got the lowest bid. I never talked to any of you all. I never even came to an A&E committee meeting,
Right.
And I never talked to anybody on that committee about looking at who get contracts. That is not something I did.
Ms. Tyler, can I ask you something that
Sure.
you may not want to answer? The insurance mess, you know a lot about it. You know a lot about how it's done.
Mm-hmm.
You had to sit back and watch.
Yes, ma'am.
What are your thoughts? What is your opinion of how that was handled?
My opinion is that it was mishandled. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
When I went into the office, and here again I'll talk about the things that I've done throughout my life as a CEO of a large organization of governmental entities, because that's what I've been doing all my life, for the past 30 years, starting with the principalship all the way up, okay?
Sure.
I never went into an office and started changing contracts, okay? I just never did that because I felt like I needed to evaluate, what was happening before making a decision. I certainly didn't do anything when I went into the mayor's office before I got sworn in. All I did was work and get all the information I could get and try to make sure that I had enough information to hit the ground running. And Aaron and Robert, I never had an inaugural ball. I never did any of that. I didn't have time to do a ball.
Mm-hmm.
When I got elected, I spent those 3 weeks between the time I were elected until I was sworn in, working diligently every single day, getting information, trying to make sure that I was ready to do the work for the people in Shreveport. So I just felt like I needed to evaluate. I didn't move anybody when I went in there. I made sure that I had a chance to evaluate people.
Yeah, you sound a smidge angry. I know we're running over time. You sound a smidge angry that you're drawn back into this.
I'm not angry. I think it's unfortunate because, I've served and served and served my community for 45 plus years, Aaron and Robert, and I try to do it with integrity because, I believe that that's how public servants should behave, and I've done it with, I've given it my all. I've made the progress, and I've faced the challenges, and I've tried to do what I could do to make sure that we were serving. And to get me dragged back into something with untruth facts, I'm not angry. I'm concerned that we have people who don't care about other people to the point that they're willing to give out misinformation. I mean, that's been done with me.
Yeah.
And so I'm checking even the figures that Channel 3 put out there, and that's when I started doing that last night. I go, I cannot believe that he didn't call me to even ask me to respond, because I could have gotten that information. You know, what I've learned over the years is that when people say things in social media or on television or any media outlet, check the facts first. Because today, sometimes people just don't check the facts, and they put stuff out there to get a good story. The Belt Construction is a good example. I asked my treasurer twice. That's when I called him, when I emailed him last night, or I texted him. I said, tell me about Belt Construction. I don't know. I don't remember who contributed to my campaign, because I didn't do business based on that. And he said he went back and he spent, time going through all of the contributions. He checked them twice, 2 different ways. He said Bell Construction gave you $0 in 2014. I said thank you, because they got all the contracts they got based on what the law says. They did the bidding. They met the criteria. They got the lowest bid. Mm-hmm. The contract had to go to them. I couldn't break the law. Now, in 2018, he said, they did give you money, but that's the year I lost, okay?
Right.
They had already gotten the work.
Gotcha.
So that shows that I had no cronyism at all taking place in my office, Aaron and Robert. So that concerned me, that a report was put out there. It was almost like slandering my name, and that's wrong.
Former Mayor Ollie Tyler, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Don't be a stranger.
Okay. Well, I will not. You all just... if I can ever do anything to assist you, please let me know.
Okay. Come by, drop by anytime. And thank you for joining us today.
Thank you all so much for having me.
101.